Shut down your mind, but relentless. I'm stubborn and why you walk on me shining bright like a diamond. Just a way to you don't go fit to finish. I know be just a needy, be people like you Ronaldinho. Oh yes, they must listen when I'm disturbing what I'm cooking in the kitchen. Zumbamba the way me I go follow fire with my motor. They no go fit block my way. Me I go zoom zoom fire for the highway.
Okay, hi guys. Oh, hold on. I have to turn down volume. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Dicky. Yay! Okay, oh my god. I know my voice sounds weird. Guys, it's been so tough for me lately. Yeah, I've had so many things happening to me. I caught a cold, I ate something and I had a weird reaction on my face. Yeah, I don't know what I ate. I don't know what I am allergic to. I'm still trying to carry out my observations to see what I ate that made me have the reactions I had on my face. Guys, it's been so tough for me. I was supposed to make this video a long time ago, but I had some funny things appearing on my face. I caught a cold and that's why my voice is still weird and many other things. But anyway, I feel better now and I didn't want to let my predicaments get to me, okay? So I fought to be here. I tried my best to have a quick recovery and yeah, I can say I feel better now. Yeah. Okay. I'm so happy to see you guys today and I hope you all are doing okay. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome, love, and please show your girl some love. Click on that subscribe button, like, share, and support me. Yeah, as you all know, as we ended our last video, I promised you guys that I was gonna make part 2. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, you need to go back and watch part 1 in order to understand what we're talking about in this video. Yeah, that's how we roll here. And yeah, I'm so happy because today I look all natural. I'm rocking my natural look, my natural hair. It's giving soft girl. This video is the continuation of the previous video where I was talking about my experience as an African in China. And I ended with, what did I say? Oh, I promised you guys that I was going to talk about my experiences and my achievements here in China. Yeah, we're going to go straight to it. No wasting time. Yeah. Okay. Let me look. I had to jot down a few things, guys, because I'm not feeling okay. So my mind is not, yeah. Okay, we are going to start with the challenges first. And the first on my list is language, communication problem, and I think almost everyone that came to China had this as the first challenge on their list, Yeah, I had a language problem. I had language difficulty because, it's only natural. It's only obvious. It's only normal that I have a language program because I am Cameroonian and I came to a land where they speak Mandarin all day long. So when I first got here, I was so intrigued by the way the Chinese people will talk, and sometimes you even feel like they're fighting, because they're talking and they're yelling. At first I thought they were always quarreling and fighting, but then I later on understood that it's just their way of talking. That's how they usually talk, and slowly but surely I got to understand that. And I would say it didn't take me that long to learn the language, because when I got here in my first 6 months, I applied for a language program, which I went to class every day to learn Chinese, to learn Mandarin. And I was so lucky, I would love to say, because I mean, I've had some conversations with some of my friends that are here. When they first got here to China, they didn't have the opportunity to get into a good school. And when I say a good school, I'm not talking just about the name and everything, like the teachers too, you know, because when you're about to learn a language, the most important part is the basics. If you don't have a good teacher that could really teach you the basics, you're going to miss on a lot of things. So I was so lucky that I got admission into this good school where they have good teachers, and I would recommend it, of course, to anybody that's planning to come to China. I recommend that you go to that school and have the basics that you need for learning Mandarin, because the teachers, they're good and they put in the work that's needed. Yeah, so I had a good foundation there. I learned for 6 months, and I would proudly say that after 6 months I already started talking just a little bit, but I mean, it was okay for me. Yeah, that was one of the difficulties that I faced, because I mean, when I got here, you go to the supermarket, you want to use the metro, you want to do anything, go to the bank, anything, you need to talk in Mandarin, you know. And this was one of the factors that pushed me to learn the language, because life was getting harder and harder. Some of the applications that you had to use, buying stuff online, picking up calls, oh my god, you just need to learn the language. And yeah, I had to do that. And the second thing too was the food. Oh my god, the food was also a big challenge for me, because I mean, I had to thank God that when I was traveling, when I was coming here, my mom had to pack some African delicacies, you know, like the gari, some spices and seasonings that we use in Africa, and palm oil. And yeah, my mom had to pack a lot of things, and it helped me for the first 6 months that I was having a hard time eating Chinese food. But as time went by, I slowly became used to. And the first thing that really caught my attention, the first thing that really made me fall in love, and the first thing that actually encouraged me to start trying giving Chinese food a second chance was how do they call this thing? Xiaolongbao. Yeah, xiaolongbao is a Shanghai specialty. Like if you go to Shanghai, this is their specialty. They eat this, and xiaolongbao is so delicious, and I recommend it to anybody that has never tasted it. When I tasted xiaolongbao, I was like, oh my god, this tastes so good. And then I went to Baozi, I went to Niromian, I went to Chao Fan, and slowly but surely I got there, and now I have a long list of my Chinese favorite dishes and stuff like that. Yeah. And also the culture and their way of life. This was the third challenge that I had. The culture and the way of life. Because, you know, it's obvious. I mean, Asia, Africa, Cameroon, China. 2 different continents, 2 different countries. And so there's a big difference in their way of life, the way they see things, the way they do things. And, you know, so you have like different people from different parts of the world sitting in one class, and you know, we have different ways of life, different cultures and customs. And you know, you can just imagine the atmosphere in class when a Chinese teacher is trying to teach this group of people, and there are always disagreements. Like, no, in my country we don't do this, no, in my country we do this. And the teacher is insisting on the fact that you're in China and you need to do as the Chinese do. You know, that's from, you know, that famous saying, do as the Romans do. They say it in China, Ru Xiang Sui Su, like do as the Romans do. And the teacher kept on insisting on this particular saying, that when you go to any place, do as the Romans do. Try as much as possible to integrate, like to learn and get used to the place. And it was so hard in class, especially sometimes when we have to talk about sensitive topics, like maybe the type of food we eat in our country. Sometimes she'll give us homeworks to do like a PPT presentation on things that we eat in our country or our culture and stuff like that. And you have students coming over and doing their presentations and presenting all sorts of amazing stuff, like the food, the tradition. And you have some reactions from the teachers like, ooh, 我觉得很奇怪. Why would you say someone's tradition or someone's food is weird? I mean, I had this experience personally. I was being told that my food is strange by a teacher. Yeah, that was the worst day of my life, because already the fact that you're you're new and you're trying to settle in and feel like you're welcomed and stuff like that, and the teacher asks you to go and do a presentation, and you take your time and you do this perfect presentation, and you're proud and you're presenting your country's food and culture, and the one thing that she has to say is 很奇怪. Why would you say that? If you don't know something, it doesn't mean that it's weird. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I think though. I feel like if you've never tasted something, if you don't know something, it's okay to just say, oh, okay, wow, interesting. Or even if it's not interesting, find another word, but just don't say weird. Because I feel like if you say something's weird or strange, it's like, for me, I didn't take that well. And yeah, and I actually had to talk about this with her. And I think we sorted it out later and stuff like that. Just amazing how sometimes you find yourself in a country like this and you still survive. Because I mean, it's been 5 years already and I'm still here. And yeah, I can only say experience is the best teacher. As time goes on, you learn about other people's cultures as long as you're open to learning. Because there are some people that are blocked, like they just they completely do not want to learn about other people's cultures, but they want you to learn about their own culture. It doesn't work that way. It's all about cultural exchange, you know. If students come to your country for international studies and stuff like that, it should be a give and take something, you know. I tell you about my culture, you tell me about your culture, we learn. Because in learning about both sides, you avoid things like saying ew or thinking that something is weird, or you know, stuff like that. So I think it's very important that when you go to any country, the work that you put into learning about that country's culture and language, make sure that you do the same by also teaching them about your own country, you know, in order to avoid some disagreements. And yeah, and another challenge that I had was settling in. And normally I was supposed to start with this, but I didn't want to, because I didn't want it to look like it's a tradition for all foreigners that when you want to talk about the challenges in China, they first talk about racism and stuff like that. I know when I will bring up this topic about racism, some people will be like, are you sure? What part of China do you live in? But hey, I'm talking about my experience, okay? So, guys, I don't know about other people that are here in China, but living in China as an African, I'm going to insist on this, as an African living in China, it's not easy. I don't know how people do it, but I know how I did it. You just have to give a deaf ear to it. And when I first got to China, I was so mad, I was so angry because I couldn't speak the language, and I just felt like I was left out on so many things. And finally, when I learned the language, guys, I started feeling like I don't want to know the language anymore. Because then when you're in the metro, on metro station, when you're in the metro station, on the bus, or in a crowd somewhere in a public place, you could literally hear Chinese people saying hurtful things to you in their language, because they assume that you do not understand the language. And some people even feel like if you understand the language better, then you will know what we're talking about. You see them saying things like, you're a monkey, you're so dark, you're so dark because there's so much sun in Africa, and so the sun has made us to look this dark. And they're like, we don't take a shower, we don't shower so well, that's why we're dark, because if we shower well, our skin could actually be lighter. And you hear them saying stuff like, we're so poor, we come from poor background, that's why we come to China to better our lives. They say things like, we are so what's that word, we are so local, not even local, what's the word, oh my god, we're so like we still live like in the 80s, like in the oh my god, they say like they hate us for the fact that we eat with our hands. They think it's very nasty. They say our hair is so weird, we don't wash our hair, we smell. God, this is just half of the things. And what I'm saying, the things I just listed now are the things that were being said to me, not things that I heard people talking about. No, they were being said to me directly or indirectly. You have them walking up to you and acting all cool, like they want to be your friend, like, you know, hi, can I add your WeChat? And only for them to ask you useless questions. At first, I thought maybe they were doing this intentionally, or but then I understood that some of them just did that because they were ignorant. Ignorance. And ignorance is not an excuse to be stupid, you know. Ignorance is not an excuse for you to say hurtful things to people. I just feel like if you don't know something about somebody or a particular place, you can take your phone. The internet has made things very easier for us these days. You can take your phone and literally type anything in. These people, I just feel like, my own point of view, I feel like the Chinese people, when it comes to Africans, they decide to block their mind, block their memory. They decide to believe only what they want to believe about Africans. And when it comes to other people from Europe or America, they're open to learning things. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like when it comes to us Africans, even if you want to learn, like even if you want to teach them, they'll tell you that no, what I know is what I know, and that's it. Of course, I'm not talking about, I'm generalizing here. I'm not talking about the whole population. Everybody's not like that, of course. But my point of view, majority of the people that I've met, they're either ignorant or they actually know what they're doing, and they are not opening to learning things about Africa. Like sometimes you literally take your time to teach them something and they'll tell you that no, I know what I saw on TV, I know what I see on TikTok, and so that's it. I'm gonna believe what I see. And it's needless, and you don't need to take your time or waste your time to explain things like that to such people, because no matter what you do, at the end of the day, they're going to believe what they want to believe, you know. But it is safe to say that not all Chinese people are like that, of course. You cannot judge a whole population by some people that decide to act weird. And, you know, I have had some bad experiences, of course, and I've also had some good experiences. And the good experiences are the ones that I decide to hold on to. And also sometimes the bad experiences, because they teach me lessons and they make me stronger and know how to react if I find myself in such situations in the future. Enough about negativity. Okay, that's it, guys. And yeah, those were the challenges that I had. And now I'm going to talk about my achievements in China. Let me have some water, guys. My throat is so dry, and because of the cold, my voice is thicker, and I'm really struggling to talk, because I feel like if I don't push myself to talk, I just feel like at some point I'm going to lose my voice, you know. So I have to force myself to talk, and it's not easy. Yeah, so talking about achievements, the first on my list is I can finally express myself fluently in Chinese. Yeah, I know people will be like, oh, don't you think that's too proud of you to say that? Don't you think that you're, hey, please. I know what I went through learning this language. In fact, I know the struggles, the sleepless nights, the mistakes I had to do, and people will laugh at me in order to get where I am today. So even if my Mandarin is not as perfect as it's supposed to be, reason why I'm still learning, but I can tap my hand on my chest and boldly say that I can get into conversations in Mandarin, I can converse in Mandarin, I can express myself in Mandarin, and that's on period. Yeah, that's my first achievement. One language added to the two other languages that one language added to the two other languages that I can now express myself in. So 3 languages. English being my first, French being my second language, and Chinese being the third. Period. Yeah, and the second achievement is, in some months to come, baby girl is going to be a bachelor's degree holder in tourism and management. Period. And the third thing is getting to meet new people. Oh my god, guys, the one good thing about traveling, studying abroad, is the fact that you get to meet people from different parts of the world. You get to interact with people, exchange contacts, learn new things that you didn't know. Oh my god, this is the most interesting part of like my journey. Like this is the most, like, this is the achievement that I cherish the most. Of course, being a bachelor's degree holder and learning the language is important as well, but this one, like the third point of me getting to meet new people, is so important to me, because when I was still in Cameroon, there are certain things that I didn't know because I was ignorant. I just thought that, okay, things are just the way I see on TV. And that's why it's very important to travel, go out there. And when you travel, just don't go to touristic areas. Try to interact with the people, to learn about them, their way of life, their cultures and everything. And I'm so happy because I have friends from different parts of the world. When I first got to China, the first 6 months that I learned the language in Shanghai, I made friends from Italy, Germany, France, Korea, South Korea, Thailand, oh my god, and also some friends from different countries in Africa. You have Uganda, Congo. Oh my god, my roommate for 4 years was Congolese, and my friend, I have Congolese friends too. We have people from Cote d'Ivoire, people from Gabon, people from Nigeria, Ghana. Like, these are countries that when you're back home in your country, you only get to hear about these countries maybe on the news, or you see them on TV, and stuff like that. But we actually met people from these countries and we interact, and it's so cool, so fun. And I think this is like something that I'm going to talk about in the videos, like somewhere in the future. Somewhere in the future I'm going to throw more light on this, about the encounters, the people that I met here in China. And all I can say is they're all beautiful people, guys. It's such a good thing that you get to meet new people from different countries, learning new things about your food, your culture, the kind of music they like, and stuff like that. I loved every second and every minute about that. And another achievement is China has taught me to be independent. I cannot stress so much on this. Like, I can't stress enough on this. China has made me to become an independent lady. And I say this with so much confidence in me, because people that know me know this. Guys, it's been a journey. It's been such a hard journey to get here. I'm trying to cry, but there are no tears coming out. But guys, seriously, I don't know, if I was still in Cameroon, I don't think I would be this independent. China has taught me to be independent, to depend on myself. Of course, the first years that I got here, the first 6 months and the first year, I was still dependent on my parents because I needed to step on my feet, and but as years went by, I learned how to depend on myself, take major decisions in my life, and also assume the consequences. And also being a business lady. Hey, if you didn't know this, now you know. I am a business lady. Please don't play with me. If you want to buy anything from China, and I say anything, I mean anything. I'm into electronics, clothing, shoes, women's stuff, men's stuff, even cars, guys. I mean anything. I am the plug. I'm a businesswoman. I'm about to be, in some months to come, about to be a bachelor's degree holder. And guys, this is just too much. And so far, all I can say is I am enjoying my stay in China. It's true that it's not been honey all the time, but I mean, that's what makes life interesting, right? Sometimes you have it spicy, sometimes you have the bitter part, sometimes you have the sweet part, and all of that put together just makes it life. Yeah. And my life in China has been this. Oh my god, that's a lot, guys. I hope I haven't made a long video. Oh my god, you guys are just going to forgive me. I can't control myself. And yeah, that's it about part 2. And in the next part, which is part 3, I'll be talking about some tips. Yeah, part 3 is not really something big, but I mean, I also have some things to say in part 3. I'll be talking about the tips tips. I'll be giving tips about people that want to leave Africa or whatever part of the country to come to China. I'll be sharing tips on what to prepare for and what to do for preparations. I'll also be talking about tips when you get to China, the things that you're supposed to focus more on in order to better your life, make your life easier. And also, in fact, I'll talk about tips about coming to China and surviving in China. And see you all in my next video, which is part 3, and I'll be sharing tips, general tips about surviving in China for those who are already in China, that is newbies, those that just got to China. And for those who haven't come to China yet and you plan on coming to China, I'll share tips on what to prepare, what to do and what not to do, and I'll just share helpful tips. Yeah, and because I'm a good girl, I'm a kind girl, I'm very generous, and yeah, I just can't help it. So you guys are not paying me for this, but I'll do it gladly without any problem. Okay guys, thank you so much for having me today, and I love you all. Bye.